Welcome back to another episode of Iniquitous News. I am your host, Lawrence Johnson. Happy Friday, people. We back like cook crack. As always, don't forget to hate and subscribe. And you already know what we back with. Trump and Epstein, buddy. And will he pardon Ghislaine Maxwell? All on today's episode. First things first. Let's dive right into all of his interviews today. So he's about to go to Scotland and go play some golf, then go into a golf tournament while all, hell breaks loose here about the Epstein files. But he had a lot of interesting things to say. First things first, he said, well, don't worry about me being in them files. You should worry about Larry Summers and Bill Clinton.
But you ought to be speaking about Larry Summers. You ought to be speaking about some of his friends that are hedge fund guys. They're all over the place. You ought to be speaking about Bill Clinton, who went to the island 28 times. I never went to the island.
It's weird though, right? Because I thought just there was hoax files and they wasn't real and that everything was good to go and that you was nowhere to be found. But now it's, well, I never went to that island. You should worry about the people that went to the island. They was basically living with him. It's just like, wait a second. You backtracking quite a lot. And now the fact that Ghislaine has met with the DOJ. Now she was seen when she came back with a white box. So first off, she got to leave. I'm surprised the DOJ doesn't go there. This is like the highest profile child predator ever. Comes back with a white box. It's like, what's in there? And now, obviously, like I said before, all signs point to that she's going to seek a pardon to give more information. But Trump is going to be like, all right, give me a bunch of information on Democrats and other high billionaire people. Leave me the fuck out of it. More interviews with Epstein have been released. And now this man shook his head. Actually, you know what? Just watch this clip. Epstein interview and asked about Trump.
Have you ever had a personal relationship with Donald Trump?
What do you mean by personal relationships?
Have you socialized with him?
Yes, sir.
Yes?
Yes, sir.
Have you ever socialized with Donald Trump in the presence of females under the age of 18?
Though I'd like to answer that question, at least today, I'm going to have to assert my 5th, 6th, and 14th Amendment rights, sir.
I would like to answer that, but I can't. And we already know Trump has said a bunch of weird shit about young women, especially his own daughter. And then weirdly enough, Epstein's old lawyer, Roy Black, dies. Now, the family has already said it's not a conspiracy, but it's like, the timing just couldn't be any motherfucking better, if we're being honest here. But then, as Trump continued to make his rounds, obviously they asked about Obama, and now we can just put this shit to rest. Let's just put this shit dead in the grave right this second. Because even he says it's going to be hard to go after him with immunity.
A member of the press today asked if, because of the Supreme Court's decision, John Roberts' decision in the immunity case, could Obama, it was basically implying that Obama has no vulnerability here in an investigation. Briefly describe why that's not accurate 100%.
Look, it is challenging what the Supreme Court has said in the immunity cases. Official decisions are protected by official immunity. So it's clear, for example, Barack Obama ordered a drone strike on Anwar al-Awlaki, an American citizen. He cannot be prosecuted for that because that was an official action. That's what the Supreme Court said. By the way, FDR could not be prosecuted for dropping atom bombs on Japan. Truman could not be prosecuted. There's a whole host of actions. Rather, Truman for dropping atom bombs, FDR for detaining Japanese citizens. Internment. The point is, official decisions of the president.
So is December 9th an official decision? That's a hard call.
Look, there would be an argument about it. I'll tell you.
He's not going to be prosecuted for treason. But that's not going to happen.
He's not going to be prosecuted in all likelihood for treason.
And on top of that, Trump was like, oh, you know what? Obama owes me for real because I'm not going to go persecute him. I'm not going to go after him. It's like, bro, it's immunity and everything has already been confirmed. We need to focus on Epstein files. That's all that matters. But we're now in this weird conundrum of, okay, Donald Trump says out loud, oh, I hadn't thought about it, but I could pardon her.
Would you consider a pardon or a commutation for Ghislaine Maxwell if cooperating?
It's something I haven't thought about. It's really something. I'm allowed to do it, but it's something I have not thought about.
But you wouldn't rule it out? Either.
I just don't understand. This is a person that women have literally said that she took part in sexually abusing them. trafficked hundreds of women. And this is the person that he said, you know what? I have the ability. It shouldn't even be a question. But now we're in the midst of she's about to get out. And it's like, oh, no wonder she's just sat there silently, because she must have known at some point in time this was all going to come to a forefront. And there's no better time than Trump to be in president than right now. Because he's about to get the fuck out. He's like, oh yeah, I already know what I'm doing. Let's name everybody but me. As long as I stay in power, fuck them. And it's like, man, I'm just wondering about the backlash, what's going to happen of when he does pardon her. I'm already at the point where I'm like, okay, this shit is coming. Because he knows people will not sleep and will not stop until they get some sort of answers. He knows his base and his fan base, as long as it's not him and there's some other people that are named, confirmed in the files, they going to be happy. I'm not happy though. Because it's like, no. We can't pardon this lady. What the fuck are you talking about? She needs to just give all the information, and maybe she just gets a better cell with some better food for the rest of her life. That's about it. But then you have people like the speaker, Mike Johnson, who says, well, I don't understand why we're focused on this. Like, why do so many people are trying to deflect? Fox News won't even fucking report this shit. But he calls out Thomas Massey. I'm on Thomas Massey's side for real. Listen to what the fuck Mike had to say.
As the leader of my party, I lead the incumbent protection program. Okay, that's my job. I go all around the country. I travel endlessly, incessantly. I have to raise over $300 million to do that, and we want everybody to come back. And some people, I try to protect them from themselves. You know, they kick and scream and bite their own colleagues. Some people seem to enjoy in trying to inflict political pain on their own teammates. I'm not going to address anybody individually, but I'll tell you that some here are much more frustrated than others. There's a small, tiny handful, but one in particular who's given me lots of consternation. I don't understand Thomas Massey's motivation. I really don't. I don't know how his mind works. I don't know what he's thinking. Thomas Massey could have brought his discharge petition any time over the last 4.5 years. Over the last 4 years of the Biden administration, he could have done that at any time. And now he's clamoring as if there's some sort of timeline on it. It's interesting to me that he chose the election of President Trump to bring this, to team up with the Democrats and bring this discharge petition. So do I have some concern about that? I do.
I just don't understand. Do they just think all of the American people are stupid and like sit at home and listen and just take it in and just like take their word for it? And that's the crazy thing is that's kind of true, that there's some people that they really only take in one source of information and they're like, well, you know what? They have to be telling the truth. It's just like, oh, no. You gotta be sourcing. You gotta go and dive in and listen to other perspectives, because we live in a time of misinformation and I need to be first and get my narrative heard. It's like, Mike, come on, man, shut the fuck up. Because this is all while Donald Trump has already said, oh, they're gonna try to pull some funny business on me. What? Ain't no funny business. You guys is best fucking friends. I've never been to the island. I can't believe he said that shit out loud, but then he tried to say Bill Clinton and Larry have been, but you've never been. You was with bro all the time. And then New York Times showed Ghislaine Maxwell's letter to Jeffrey Epstein about how she put this book together. And says, oh, there's a lot of memories. It's going to jog your memory, but I'm happy I did this. Confirming that Trump was obviously a part of this. Now, Trump has already answered that. He said, well, somebody could have just signed my name. That's happened a lot. Motherfucker, what? I mean, listen to this shit.
Somebody could have written a letter and used my name, but that's happened a lot. All you have to do is take a look at the dossier, the fake dossier.
So let's just go back over the timeline real quick. So Elon Musk releases this tweet saying Trump is on the files and they're not going to be released until never, because motherfuckers all over them. People start to very clamor. They need the files. Trump comes out and says, oh, no, this is all a hoax. They keep on clamoring. They're like, no. He throws out MLK files. He throws out, I need to arrest Obama. People are like, we don't really give a fuck about that right now. We need to know about the files. And so now he has Pam Bondi. Okay, let's figure out a way to meet with Ghislaine. Todd Blanche, who's in the past already said Ghislaine was like, well, maybe she could be a victim. And we'll get to a second. People in Newsmax are already trying to say maybe she was a victim, trying to just soften the blow of like, okay, she's going to get pardoned. Let's see what happens. But now Todd Blanche meets with her day one. She comes back, has a white box. What's in that box? Who knows? What is it? Information? Was it food? Was it a bunch of files that she needs to go through and say, okay, we need you to blame it on this person, blame it on this person. But now they meet again today, and now it's already coming out the saying that she may be seeking a pardon. And Trump himself goes in front of the White House, or before he leaves for his fucking little golf trip, and says, I have the ability to do it. People, they're pointing in the direction of he will pardon Ghislaine Maxwell. And then now he's already throwing other names out. Former president of Harvard, Bill Clinton, Larry Summer, all these different names, even though less than a week ago he said it was a hoax and everything was fake and the files weren't even real. But now he's saying, well, these are the names that you need to know because they were on the island basically living with the guy. So we're in the middle of the biggest exposure in our history, but at the same time, the biggest cover-up in our history, all happening at the same time because of child pedophilia. This is the United States. This is fucking insane, son. And while all this is happening, as usual, Israel is over there carrying out a genocide. People are on the stage 5 of malnutrition. 125 people have just died from starvation, reportedly. Do you understand how sick that is in the world that we live today, that we knowingly know people are dying of starvation and we're still funding this shit? Something hilarious did happen, though, and that was when Trump went with Powell and then tried to make up this fake number of $3.1 billion, and basically it was like an Office clip episode. I mean, like, for real, this is like some shit straight out of Scranton.
So we're taking a look, and it looks like it's about $3.1 billion. It went up a little bit, or a lot. So the 2.7 is now 3.1.
I'm not aware of that.
Yeah, it just came out.
Yeah, I haven't heard that from anybody at the Fed.
Yeah, it just came out.
Our notes had it about 3.1 as well.
3.1,
3.2.
This came from us?
Yes. I don't know who does that.
You're including the Martin renovation. You just added
our entire capital.
Yeah, you just added in a third building. Is what that is. That's a third building.
Well, no, but it's a building that's being built.
No, it was built 5 years ago. We finished Martin 5 years ago.
It's part of the overall work.
But it's not new.
You can tell Powell is fed up. He was like, bro, that building was built 5 years ago. This is crazy. What are you even talking about? Just making up numbers to make things sound better than they actually are. You too good at this. Then Jesse Waters went on Fox News, played the same clip, left out the 5 years part to make Trump not look like an idiot. And that's why I say you need to have more than one source of information. And then some other representative literally said, right now we're trying to cover for Trump. Out loud. I think, what?
What we're simply wanting to do here is give them cover. So if my colleague from Arizona actually wants transparency, then he would drop his objection to my resolution.
You could tell in real time, he was like, wait, hold on. I said the quiet part out loud. I did not mean to say that my whole entire job is to cover for this man. Like, it's like, damn, that's some real dick-eating shit. You really on your knees for this man. And if that's not bad enough, then another Trump appointee, she has no idea about how many people we fired that speak Mandarin to communicate with China, which was one of our biggest trade partners at one point in time until this whole entire stupid-ass tariff situation happened. But I mean, like, just listen to how clueless she is.
The department just fired over 1,300 staff to meet an arbitrary firing target. Do you know what % of the department's total Mandarin language capacity was lost in that RIF?
Congresswoman, the reorganization was not arbitrary, nor was it haphazard.
Do you know how many of the department's total Mandarin language capacity was lost in the RIF?
I'm unaware of that.
So you don't know even how we're staffing our relationship with China, and you're the Undersecretary of State for Political Affairs. Can you at least tell me if language skills, in this case Mandarin, weigh into the department's evaluation of individual staff that were RIF'd?
Thank you, and thank you, Congresswoman, for that question. The Office of China Affairs falls under my purview.
And you don't know how many, do you know how many people we have that speak Mandarin now?
I'm responsible for the diplomacy that is conducted out of the Office of China.
And you think diplomacy can be done without people that speak the skills?
And also the embassy. And I have confidence in our training programs at the Department of State.
I know that's tough to watch, right? Because it's just like, wow, like This is a person that is actually in power that has no idea what the fuck is going on in her own sector. And then now it is also confirmed that Pete Hegseth lied under oath and he should be fired, but he just won't, because my boy is just a walking leak. He was just selling information to everybody, and he went under, he said, well, I didn't, times and this weren't said, and motherfucker, they were. It's like we living in a circus. I can't believe this shit. And then obviously we have to do our update on the trades that are never going to happen. And what did Trump say? He said, well, just wait until August 1st, as usual, about a week and a half, 2 weeks out. And he said, well, honestly, with Canada, they just difficult to deal with. I mean, listen to this guy.
We have the confines of a deal with China. But we haven't really, we don't have a deal with Canada. We haven't been focused on it. When the letters go out, there's a page and a half. That means they have a deal, it's done, they pay that tariff, and that is a contract, essentially. And they can come into the country, they're going to pay a tariff. I'm going to keep it minimal, I'm going to keep it, I'm not looking to hurt countries. I could do that too, but I'm not looking to do that.
And with Flashback Fridays, we are back like Cook Rack. And with one of my favorite songs, shout out to Mase and Cameron, but today, Mase, we have Welcome Back.
Welcome back. Yeah, man, how you doing? You good? I know you like that.
That shit was really a hit on the BET Top 10 movie thing. 106 & Park, that joint used to be a hit. That music video was so tough. Moving along, we're going to take it back even further. I Can't Go For That. Daryl and Oates.
Well, I can't go for that.
They really cooked up. I always imagine back in the day what it must have been like driving along and then some shit like that drop on the radio, wherever you hear it for the first time, the diner. I have no idea where they used to drop music. Or maybe it's just at your crib, feed up, and they're like, oh, new Daryl and Oates on the spin. It's just like, damn, that is hard. And last but not least, it's the middle of summer, and we feeling good this summer. And you already know, I'm outside this weekend. And so today may not be the best verse, but the hook goes crazy. We got Summer Nights.
Summer nights. Summer days just sitting around, but when the sun goes down.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Iniquitous News. Don't forget to hate and subscribe. I appreciate y'all tuning in as always and watching this video all the way through. Y'all real as hell. You already know. And I'll see y'all on Monday. Y'all have a lit weekend. Don't forget to stay nefarious, maleficent, and vociferous at all times. I'm out.
You've just tuned in to another edition of Iniquitous News Network with Lawrence Johnson. Don't forget to hate and subscribe.